Just a few days ago, I talked about how PlayStation developers were going on social media trash-talking Elden Ring, showing just how salty they are that any excitement for games like Horizon Forbidden West died down with the release of Elden Ring. They were talking about how bad the user experience is, how they should have put an easy mode in the game, how bad the questing is in the game, and hilariously enough, these developers have gotten roasted over making these comments online over the past few days. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start with this Bounding into Comics article that does show off a bunch of tweets. It says Western game devs mocked after criticizing Elden Ring as poorly designed. Now, I have started playing both of these games. I am much farther through Elden Ring than I am Horizon Forbidden West, but I have been having a great time with Elden Ring. I've been live streaming my playthrough. I've also been playing it quite a bit off of stream, but I've really been enjoying it. I feel like it's just a very, very solid, unique experience, and of course, with Horizon Forbidden West, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it's basically a copy and paste of the first game with very slight differences, very slight changes, a couple of new systems. But for me right now, my hype is with Elden Ring. I've been absolutely loving it. But it's as a trio of individual Western video game developers have been met with widespread accusations of jealousy over their recent criticisms of Elden Ring's success. Now, I understand if developers working at another company want to go on social media and just say, hey, I wish that the hype had stayed with our game. We worked really hard on it. We really love what we did. We're very proud of the product we created. But at the same time, they shouldn't be going on social media attacking another studio and basically saying your game is trash, our game is better, and it is absolutely absurd that your game has the spotlight on it right now. It says the matter started harmlessly enough with the Ubisoft Stockholm user experience designer Ahmed Salama taking to his personal Twitter on March 3rd to discuss both the praise that had been given to Elden Ring and his belief the game had failed to provide a good user experience. And I also think it's important to note that this is someone who worked on the first Horizon Zero Dawn game, and I couldn't find on social media talk of him working on Horizon Forbidden West, but clearly he was with Guerrilla Games for quite a few years. He had worked on the previous Horizon game, so he is a little bit biased in this situation. Of course, he wants the franchise he had worked on to do good. It says the fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game UX. My life is a lie. And I will admit that when Elden Ring launched, it did have some problems. They have put out a patch since then on all platforms, and the game is running much better. But it did launch with some problems, and I definitely do not think the game deserves 100% or a 97 or close to that, because those problems did exist. Maybe once they fixed all of the problems people are having, like stuttering, frame drops, crashing, then it would deserve something like a 97. Right now it doesn't because of those problems, but the content that is there is really amazing. Salama, whose claims to UX authority include stints designing said experience for Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 5, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, elaborated on his thoughts in a reply to another Twitter user stating, "The user experience is generally awful. Nothing about the thing feels intentional or play-tested." And this is rich coming from someone who worked on all three of these games, because all three of these games had massive problems with user experience. These games were pretty terrible. It says his tweet was soon met with agreement from a PlayStation subsidiary, Nixie's software graphics programmer, who in a now deleted tweet replied, "Nor PC graphics, stability, and performance apparently. Like I mentioned, the game does have some problems, but the actual content that is there is really great." And then, the Horizon Forbidden West senior quest designer, Blake Raboche, whose tweets have now since gone protected, said, "Nor quest design really. This screams jealous and salty when a lead quest designer for a game is attacking another game over its quest design. It screams, I am better than you. Whoever the quest designer was in Elden Ring, I'm better than you. I know how to do my job." But of course, this interaction was soon screen capped by Twitter users who shared the resulting image, and alongside the caption, developers from Ubisoft and Guerrilla, as well as others upset over Elden Ring's success. And this is where the roasting has started. They are being absolutely mocked online, which I think is funny because this is what they tried to do to Elden Ring. They tried to create this thread of people attacking Elden Ring and shitting on it, and now they are the ones that are being screen capped and mocked online. Gandalf Gaming said, "Elden Ring is so good that it's making the Horizon Forbidden West developers cry on Twitter." At Blake, "Don't be upset by Elden Ring stealing your thunder. Instead, take notes on how to make a real open world game." And while Horizon Forbidden West has sold pretty well from what we know, it's gotten pummeled by Elden Ring in sales, reviews, and interest. And the same thing happened with the first Horizon game. They launched it only a week before Breath of the Wild, and interest faded. Yes, over time it sold well, and I'm sure that this game will too, but I just wish developers wouldn't push each other down, especially because these aren't two games that are extremely similar. A bit of audience overlaps, I'm sure, but they're not both cookie-cutter, linear, post-apocalyptic adventure games that are targeting the same exact people. They just sound so pathetic when they're going on social media, pushing other developers down, saying, "Our game is better, this game sucks." People are tweeting at Guerrilla, "I was really excited to play Horizon Forbidden West, but after seeing Blake's tweet disparaging Elden Ring and From Software, I will never buy or play a game made by this bitter person. It's not From's fault that people stop talking about Horizon Forbidden West. This is classless behavior," and I 100% agree. I'm really disappointed that we're seeing developers do this. I'm just really disappointed that this is what they do. When their game isn't doing as well as they're hoping, they find someone to blame for it. And in this case, it just happens to be From Software. Other Twitter users, including Jason Schreier, reinforced this pushback by sharing an edited Elden Ring screenshot from a Reddit user that has definitely made its rounds. At the time of the screenshot, it had 32,000 upvotes. It says, "If Ubisoft developed Elden Ring," and it is so true. All of these AAA games have their own problems, but a running problem that we see is the HUD. The HUD is so cluttered, you can barely see the game. You can barely experience the game. And I know journalists and also Western AAA developers have gone after Elden Ring, saying there's not a quest log, the HUD's not good enough, there's not enough information as a player when you're actually trying to play the game. And this is what the game would look like if they had created it. And I understand that From Software titles and Souls-like games are not for everyone, but they clearly are for some people because they always sell very well. It's okay if this is not your type of game, but you don't have to go on social media and attack it simply because you don't like it. I bet these developers are even more furious than they were in the first place because they thought the gaming industry would agree with their takes about Elden Ring, and they are now the ones being mocked on social media. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.